On the vast, icy plains of the Arctic, a young polar bear cub found himself in a perilous predicament. The cub, separated from his mother, wandered aimlessly, his usually playful eyes clouded with fear. Hunger gnawed at his belly, and the icy Arctic wind sent shivers down his spine. Little did he know, a far greater danger lurked beneath the surface of the frigid waters. Millions of tiny barnacles, their shells as hard as rock, lay in wait, ready to latch onto any unsuspecting creature that crossed their path. The cub, desperate for sustenance, waded into the water, unaware of the threat that awaited him. As the cub swam, the barnacles began their relentless assault. They attached themselves to his thick fur, their numbers growing with each passing moment. At first, the cub barely noticed their presence. But as the barnacles multiplied, covering his once pristine fur, they began to weigh him down. The once playful movements became labored. Swimming, once effortless, now required immense effort. The barnacles, like a heavy chainmail, restricted his movement, making hunting nearly impossible. The cub, weak and exhausted, struggled to stay afloat, his desperate cries for help lost in the howling wind. Fortunately, fate, it seemed, had not entirely abandoned the young cub. A group of researchers stationed miles away received a distress call from a group of Inuit hunters. The hunters, familiar with the perils of the Arctic, had spotted the struggling cub, his white fur now a patchwork of grey and brown from the barnacles. Recognizing the urgency of the situation, the researchers sprang into action. They gathered their equipment, their hearts pounding with a mix of trepidation and determination. A rescue mission in the unforgiving Arctic was fraught with danger, but the thought of leaving the cub to such a cruel fate was unbearable. The team, led by a seasoned veterinarian, boarded their boat and set off into the vast icy wilderness, a beacon of hope cutting through the desolate landscape. Locating the cub proved easier than anticipated. His once pristine white fur, now a mottled tapestry of barnacles, stood out against the blinding white expanse. As the boat drew closer, the full extent of the cub's predicament became horrifyingly clear. He was emaciated, his body riddled with barnacles, his spirit all but broken. The rescue was a delicate and laborious process. The team worked tirelessly, their movements precise and careful as they pried each barnacle from the cub's exhausted body. Hours turned into days as the rescuers, driven by compassion and a deep respect for the Arctic and its inhabitants, battled fatigue and the elements to free the cub from his living shackles. Finally, after days of painstaking work, the last barnacle was removed. The cub, weak and vulnerable, was wrapped in warm blankets and taken back to the research station. There, under the watchful eyes of the veterinarian and her team, he received around-the-clock care, his frail body slowly regaining strength with each passing day.